Alright, here we go. This is a review of the Benchmade 585 Mini Barrage Limited Edition Blue. Ordered from Vancouver at Warriors and Wonders. This knife traditionally comes in black handle with the same color blade, or black handle with black blade. But you know, there have been a couple of different editions to come out. I know REI's got a combo edge green one. This one I liked. I really like the blue. I like that it's the plain edge. And let's get right into it. The Mini Barrage for me is a great EDC knife. It doesn't really function well in other tasks. I wouldn't say that it's a tactical kind of defensive knife. It doesn't have some of the characteristics you need for that kind of a thing, but as far as use for me as an EDC blade, this knife is outstanding. So let's talk a little bit about some of the specs on the knife, some of the materials, and we'll get right down into it. The Mini Barrage has a blade length of 2.91 inches. We'll get into the design of the blade and shape and everything here in a minute when I open it up for you. The length of the knife opened up overall is 6.91 inches and closed it's 4 inches. So that gives you an idea of the length of this knife. Perfect size for me for EDC. This has Benchmade's patented axis assist lock, which we'll describe here in a minute and talk a little bit about how it works. The blade is a 154 cm stainless steel, an adequate steel for EDC purposes, definitely. Let's talk about the coolest thing about this knife. It's an assisted opening knife. When you buy an assisted opening knife, you kind of want that thing to fly open. Let me zoom out a little bit more. So the Benchmade Mini Barrage has an outstanding system. When you have assisted opening knives, a lot of time it can be like a fully auto knife where it can tend to have a little bit of rattle in there when it's open. Benchmade did a great job of stopping that from happening here. The knife flies out. I'm going to show you right now so you can see. I mean, just lightning fast. I would say that the speed on this is excellent. Lockup is outstanding. No movement up and down, no movement side to side. Now I would like to preface this with something, and that's say that it wasn't like that when I first got it. I'll show you what I kind of had going on and talk to you a little bit about it. So the axis lock is this steel bar that's spring-loaded that goes up and down. When you open the knife, it's going to drop, and then it's going to shoot back up into it and lock. You can see right here where it goes, and it locks right into this back space, which is right there. Okay. When I first got it, I would notice about 1 out of every 2 or 3 deployments would have a tiny little bit of up and down wiggle. Then I noticed right here a little bit of kind of a dirty surface where the axis lock bar was, engaging into the knife to hold it still, and I cleaned it off with just a Q-tip, and it turns out that it looked like a little bit of some sort of grease or lubricant that was actually causing it to be able to have a little bit of wiggle from time to time. But once I cleaned that off and came back in here with the same Q-tip and cleaned off the back, you can see it moving up and down the axis lock where the grease was coming off of. Now, ever since then, when it locks in, it's completely locked tight in all directions. So, outstanding lockup. Lightning fast speed. It does have a lock on the back of it. In case you want to lock it, you push this little black button down and move it forward, and you can see what happens if you look inside the hole where the axis lock goes. You see this little black piece coming forward. When I push it in, it's a little bar that rides underneath the axis lock, stopping it from being able to go down. So you can lock it in the up position or in the down position. Whether you want it open or closed when you lock it, completely dependent on what you're locking it for. I don't use it for anything, to be honest with you, but it's handy in case you ever wanted it. It has a lanyard hole. I will say something about the scales though, and this starts to get into the use of the knife, purposes of it, and what's important to you. It's really slick. I mean, it's definitely not something with lots of grip, sort of like Delica with these little cutouts going in multiple directions. It's definitely not G10 kind of a grip. It's just a slick surface, has little cutouts and things here just to give you something to hold on to. This is one of the main reasons why I say it's just an EDC knife, not tactical. There's also no jimping whatsoever. Take a look at that. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. No jimping running down the back of the blade at all. So again, it kind of depends a little bit on your intent with this knife. But like I said, EDC, it's fantastic. And I think that's what its intention was. Moving on, we'll talk a little bit about the blade shape. Drop point design with an unsharpened swedge running down the top of this front part of the blade. I love this blade shape. It's nice and wide. At the same time, the tip has got great strength because of the drop point design. Outstanding job on the blade shape. As far as the relief edge goes, mine is pretty much perfection. I mean, it's identical on both sides. Came extremely sharp out of the box. Didn't have any issues. Needed no sharpening whatsoever. Which is what you expect out of a knife of this price. You know, you expect to have it top notch when you get it. The belt clip rides relatively deep in the pocket. It's not extremely deep, but it's definitely comparable to most other knives out there. You can see it runs to about right here. So if we were to use my wallet, for example, as your pocket, it's going to go up to about right here. And that'll show you about how much is riding out of your pocket. So here you go. Get a little bit of the specs on the knife. For me, the weight and balance is outstanding. I don't mind making the sacrifices for a knife that I just think is cool. You know, sometimes that's what it's all about. It definitely has functionality, but sometimes you just want a knife that you like. You have to like it. It can't just be functional. And, you know, sometimes you can pick and choose your battles with what's important when you're carrying. For me, would I like this knife thinner and lighter? Sure. But am I willing to sacrifice and carry this knife, the thickness and weight that it is, because of the other features that it gives you, like the outstandingly strong axis lock that locks up this assisted opening knife as if it was a normal folder? Absolutely. The speed of the deployment of this knife with almost no effort? Absolutely. I mean, to me, it's just a no-brainer. The Benchmade Mini Barrage is an outstanding EDC knife. If you're interested in this blue one, again, Warriors and Wonders in Vancouver is who I ordered it from. I don't know. I know that they came in serrated, not serrated, same panels, also with black blade too. If you're interested in this particular one, I hate to break it to you, you might be a little too late. Let's see if I can get this to focus. 199 of 200. So I kind of waited a little bit to order it, and I almost, you know, kind of ran into some trouble there. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they're not in any kind of order when they get sold. Who knows? But definitely check it out if you like this particular one. I would highly recommend this knife for anyone who's looking for a good EDC knife, willing to pay a little bit of extra money. Check out Benchmade Mini Barrage. Benchmade does a great job, and definitely check it out. By the way, one thing I didn't mention, the pocket clip is reversible to the other side, but you cannot change the orientation. But for me, tip up is the way I carry anyway. So check it out. Benchmade, they make great stuff, and you know, this is no different than any of their other fantastic knives. So check them out.